Hi my loves, I wanted to talk to you today about starting over in your 30s. And this is beautiful. I'm gonna perch here, look at this fallen tree. Can you see that? Let's make room here and stay here for a while. I wonder if I can actually set you up on here. Let's see. Oh yes. Oh, that's good. Amazing. Brilliant. Okay, here goes. I literally don't even know where to start with this one because I feel like I could make this an hour long or I could make this 10 minutes. Let's try and find somewhere in between. So, I'm 38 and I got a couple of years left until the big 40, and I'm really looking forward to it and I can't wait. But my whole life I'd always had 40 as like a really major kind of milestone in my life, and I always said that I wanted to be retired by 40. Like I didn't want to be working or have to be working, and it was like you know, I guess everyone has an age that they have in their head for like maybe retirement. Some people it's 50, 60, but mine was 40. And I also had in my head that I'd be like an older mum, that I'd have like kids in my 40s. I always wanted to be an older mum. So with those two things in mind, it doesn't feel, well, not now, but I had been feeling that I was nowhere on track to making it to my goal, to being retired at 40 and having kids in my 40s. The literal opposite is happening, where like I've had a major pivot with my career. It wasn't even a pivot, it was a whole derailing and total new avenue that I've gone down. And then at the beginning of my 30s I had my divorce, so there were no kids out of that marriage. So I'm single now, and I'm definitely not on a trajectory that includes children at this point, I guess. Anyway, all that aside, I'd like to maybe take you on a little bit of a journey of my 30s, and this is going to be off the cuff and just from my mind. I haven't made any notes. I didn't even plan to really speak about this today, but yeah, here we are. So I was married at 30, and 2 years into the marriage there was a betrayal, so that sparked the beginning of the divorce process, the separation, the divorce. And it was, I think I was 33, and it was at the exact time of the pandemic. So we had an apartment together, me and my ex-husband, and I don't know if you remember, but you weren't allowed to leave your bubble as they called it in the UK. You weren't allowed to leave your house and go and visit your family. But it got so bad for me energetically, I just couldn't physically be in the same space, that I had to escape. And I was going back and forth to my mum's house where my sisters still lived, and then going back to the apartment for like a night and then coming back. So I was doing the back and forth until I decided that it was all too much, and my mum was getting really frustrated with it all because she could see how upsetting it was for me. So she said, you need to just move back home. Just move home. Go and get all your stuff and move home. So that's what I did. And I'm a bit distracted at the moment because someone's walking past. I always get distracted when someone sees me filming, but I should just ignore. So that's what I did. I moved back home, and oh God, I was absolutely on my knees at that point, guys. Like, rock bottom doesn't even cut it. I'd lost so much weight. I weigh between about 130 and 140 pounds, depending on the time of year. And at that point I had gotten down to 118 pounds. That's how much I weighed, through the stress and just pure trauma of it all. So moving back home with my family was the most healing thing that I've ever experienced, and it literally saved my life. I was at such a low point at that point that I couldn't even, I struggled to get out of bed, I struggled to eat, and the only thing I could manage on most days, this is during the pandemic, during the height of the lockdown, I just thank God that, you know, when you look back, and at the time it's like the most hideous thing ever happening to you, but now when I look back, it's just magical. The alignment, the timing, you know, to be able to have gone through that, through the pandemic, where we had the time and space to actually, I had the time and space to cope with it, basically. So what I was saying is, the only thing I could do every day was go into the garden and lay in the grass, just lay on the grass with, I think I even took my duvet, into the garden, and I just lay on the grass, cover myself, and look at the sky, and look at the trees, and just like meditate with Mother Nature, just talk to her. And I asked for her healing, and for her to somehow miraculously love me back to life. So another thing, when I got a little bit stronger at that time, I started to venture out. We have woodlands, this woodland right across the street from where my mum's house is. It's a blessing that I cannot even describe. I used to just come over the road, go through the gate and enter this woodland, and I'd just walk. Sometimes I didn't feel strong enough to walk, so I would sit on the benches, and I would sit on a bench and I would just look at the sky, and I'd just contemplate life and just think about everything that had happened. And I was heartbroken, guys. Oh my God, you know, I know you guys know that heartbreak. I think 99.9% of us know what heartbreak feels like. That was just, I've had heartbreaks before that, but that wasn't even heartbreak, that was life break, that was life shattering, you know. Anyway, so I'd come and I'd walk and get fresh air, and just, I didn't know at the time, but I was healing myself through just being outside, just being in nature, being amongst the trees. And it was such an instinctual, almost primal knowing that that's what I had to do, that I had to go and find some healing in nature. The sun's moving position. So so that was that. So that, the divorce, the breakdown of the marriage, my whole lifestyle went with it. So the apartment, the cars, all the stuff went with the divorce, just went out of my life. I packed up everything that meant something to me in boxes and put it in my mum's garage. And so, just adjusting. So that was the first half of the 30s. Just literally building myself from nothing again. And I had a career in music, and I'd been in music since a child, and I was a professional singer, musician and songwriter, and I had this great, beautiful, juicy career in music. So that all went to the dogs during the pandemic because I couldn't perform or gig or travel or anything. But then when it slowly came back, at least I felt I had a way of making money, you know? Still, but that, my music and everything, then began to just not feel aligned. And I was like, I'm not sure I can take much more of this change, it felt that the universe was like, I felt like it was a tug of war with the universe. Like, I was like, no, I still want this, and the universe was like, no, but I'm taking that as well. And I was like, no, but I still want this, and the universe was like, no, I'm taking it. So that's kind of what happened, like, with my career. I'm gonna move more into the sunlight, guys, because it's so beautiful. There we go. So that's what was going on at the time with my career. I was having this tug of war with the universe. And the whole time I was getting, at first whispers, but then it became really loud. I was getting a voice from the universe telling me that maybe I can sit here. It's better. Go around the other side and then I can lean on here. That's better. So, yeah, I was getting loud whispers. These whispers were getting louder and louder and louder, and they were telling me that Ayurveda, Ayurvedic medicine, was the thing that I needed to move towards. And as part of my healing process, I was getting more and more into yoga. So I was doing yoga every day and really getting into my yogic practice. I'm really enjoying it. And it was also helping me to rebuild my body, build my strength, and focus my mind, and why can I hear a bee? I can hear a bee. Sorry guys, I'm quite scared of bees and wasps. It's gone now. Yeah, so the yoga was helping with the healing process and fortifying me, building me back up. And I just got totally immersed in the whole world of yoga, and Ayurveda then started to call to me. For those of you who don't know, Ayurvedic medicine is Indian medicine, and it's holistic, it's natural plant medicine. Beautiful ancient mode of healthcare, wellness. And my mum, decades prior, when I was like 17, took me to an Ayurvedic practitioner for my period pains. This Ayurvedic practitioner actually is the head, the guru, the head doctor of the institute that I now am studying with, and they are based just down the road from where we live. But the last time I'd done anything with Ayurveda was decades ago when I was 17, so to sort of come back round to it was a really beautiful thing. And so anyway, I think it was like literally like end of 2020, beginning of 2021, the universe was saying to me, you need to go and train in Ayurveda, this is your new path, this is your new career. And I didn't listen. I just put it off, carried on with music for another couple of years, and nothing in terms of my music and the projects that I was involving myself with were going right. Everything just kept going wrong. People kept screwing me over left, right and centre, broken promises, projects not being released as promised, all this crap. And I was like, I can't do this anymore. I'm feeling I'm better than this. I'm not in my power. I'm feeling like my power is constantly being taken from me. And I was constantly feeling like I was relying on other people, and it was just not working out. So music, I thought, okay, maybe I can sign up for the Ayurvedic course and do music as well. So that's what I did. I signed up in then, I think it was 2023 for my first year, and loved it. Lit my soul up, loved it. And yeah, so I've been studying ever since, and it's challenging, it's difficult. It's not the easiest thing I've ever done, but I didn't expect it to be easy, and nothing worth having is easy, is it? So I'm in my second year, and by the beginning of 2026, I will be qualified as an advanced Ayurvedic practitioner. At the moment, I'm qualified as a lifestyle and nutrition consultant, but yeah, by the end of, like I say, this second year, I'll be advanced. So it's really exciting, and it's something so far away from music, you know. It's still an art, I guess, still within the arts, but I mean, come on guys, that's a big change. And then the other thing, for a good several years, I had no friends absolutely none. And I've been so blessed because I have sisters and a mum who I'm best friends with. So I've never ever felt the lack of friendship, and I'm lucky in that sense. But, you know, I didn't have girlfriends that I really could rely on or would describe them as, you know, best friends. And so that was something else that I had to work through in my 30s, because for a good chunk of my 30s I didn't have close girlfriends. So that was all very interesting as well. And then it wasn't until recently that I met some really cool girls, and I met them through the course, through my Ayurvedic course, and that's been so wonderful and so edifying, you know, to meet like-minded women. But I didn't force it. I didn't go out looking for friends. They just found me. We found each other, you know, and it's really beautiful. So if any of you guys are out there struggling with the fact that you have no friends, or you feel like you have no friends, don't worry. Friends and people will come into your life when they need to, and not before. And sometimes we need that time of solitude and isolation and withdrawal to really come to ourselves and understand who we actually are and what we can actually offer in friendship, what we can give and what we'd like to receive, you know? So yeah, oh gosh, I haven't even touched on like my romantic life and dating and all of that. Okay, so from the end of 2020 I started dating. I went on the apps and all of that shebang. I'm gonna do a whole video on that, I think, because I think you girlies would love that one. But it's been a whole ride to hell and back. Honestly guys, what is it like out there? So yeah, for 4 years I've dated many guys, had some good experiences, had some really, really fun times, but nothing stuck, you know, nothing stuck. And that's because it wasn't meant to. And I look back and I wish that I had just, you know, dated each of these guys like not loosely, God, that's the wrong word, isn't it? I mean, if that's your bag, but I mean like not detached, not held on to whatever it was, like with both hands, and like, I don't know, I think I was in, it's taken me a bit of time to move away or move through desperation, and move through lack, and move through that wanting, you know, for a romantic relationship. I've gotten to a place recently, and when I say recently I mean within the last few months, where I said enough is enough. I like dated the last guy and it didn't work out, and I was like, right, that's it now. But I'd been saying that for the past like 3 or 4 guys. I was like, that's it, like, can't do this, I'm not doing men, I'm not doing guys, like, forget it. And then I'd go back in and the cycle would start all over again. But the last guy that I dated and it didn't work out, I didn't even say that. I didn't even say that to myself or to anyone. I just quietly knew that that was the last guy that I would date for a while, and then I was tired and I was burnt out from the whole experience. So I haven't been on a date for, I'm not sure how long now, several weeks. And I'm at the point now, as I stand here talking to you, where I can tell you I am absolutely, truly content and happy and at peace with the fact that I'm single. And I take it a step further and say, I'm glad and happy as hell that I'm single. I'm so free, I can do whatever I want, whenever I want. I don't have anyone to answer to. I don't have to get ready for a date. I don't have to plan an outfit. I don't have to go back and forth on text. Oh my God, guys, come on now. It feels so good and I'm so happy, and it gave me the chance, like, not thinking about guys and dating like birthed this channel. I had the time and space, and I intentionally channeled the energy that I was giving to all these guys and my dating life. I channeled it into launching this channel. And what a beautiful thing this is turning out to be. I don't want to get emotional, but honestly, this is just magical. Whew. Okay, so I've done so well to get all of that crammed into like 22 minutes. There's more, guys, and my channel is going to be here forever, and I'm going to have a lot to say, and maybe I'll do a part 2 on this. But in a nutshell, that's been my 30s. There's been a whole host of other bits weaved in and out of that, you know, but for the last 8 years, how old am I? 38. For the last 8 years, that's basically the big picture. So your girl's been through a lot. Oh, and on top of that, I have a chronic autoimmune disease. I have rheumatoid arthritis, which I was diagnosed with at 28. So this year was the 10-year anniversary of that, and that has been a ride and a half, and that's a separate vlog that I'll do in the future about my health and everything I've been battling with that. So that was in the mix as well. But guys, I think I'm gonna leave that here. I hope that was either entertaining, enlightening, informative, inspiring, encouraging, either or all of those, I hope. And please let me know what you think and how you feel. Like, leave it in the comments if you've got anything to add to that. I'd love to hear about your guys' experiences as well of your 30s, and maybe starting over in your 30s like me, starting over in more ways than one, in every way, starting over in every way. It's not an easy thing at any age, and I'm still doing it, and I feel like I'm doing it well. Got 2 years left 2 years left of my 30s, so I'm just praying that, you know, everything that I've been sowing, I'll be able to harvest in these next 2 years, reap my rewards. Yeah, gosh, I love you so much. Thank you so much for watching. I'd love you to subscribe, and catch you later. Love you.